All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Gonna be touching on the top prop bets for Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks. So gonna be starting out here with WNBA, and this is kind of the issue with the WNBA today is that all the good prop bets that we have on paper do have a little bit of a discrepancy here where the average sportsbook line compared to the PrizePicks line is telling us to bet the under. When we look at the projection data, vastly different. Now that does happen a little bit more with WNBA, where the projection data is a little bit more aggressive. That just doesn't give you the warm and fuzz. It's not exactly a bet I feel like we need to chase, although this is kind of like yesterday where we're not getting that many great prop bets. A lot of the good ones on paper are like this, and so that's kind of the issue. Another one that we have potentially you could run out is Alyssa Thomas for under 10.5 rebounds. That's a decent one that you could run out, but still nothing too crazy. In terms of fantasy score-wise, like Caitlin Clark over her fantasy score is decent. Projection data, 41.5 for her fantasy score. Average sportsbook line has it closer to 38, but only about a 53 or so % chance for that one to hit. So not exactly an elite option either. Now, MLB wise, it's going to be more of the same with that. And that's, again, part of the issue for today is that a lot of the good prop bets that we have do have a slight hole in them. So Zach Wheeler, the data really likes the over fantasy score for. The average sportsbook line would have this one set at 46.5. Okay. The projection data, however, would have it set at 37. And then the underdog line would have it set at 39.5. And so already I would say this is a much better bet on underdog. Typically speaking, I don't like to run out these bets on PrizePicks. I'd rather just get my exposure to this on underdog. But given the fact that that's Taco Tuesday, and obviously we just wanted to take advantage of the discounts that we're going to get today, Zach Wheeler does seem to be a good prop bet for us. And Zach Wheeler is someone that the last time out against the Giants really lit them up. You know, went for 64 fantasy points. Obviously, 42 is going to be a lot of fantasy points. He needs a quality start, needs a win, needs to get a lot of strikeouts, and really can only have maybe one earned run. And that's a little bit of the concern with chasing someone like that. There's not that much room for error. Heck, we saw that yesterday with Zach King, Zach King had himself a great game. 7 strikeouts, only 5 innings pitched. That was the concern, and gave up 1 run. And so he missed his over on underdog by 0.5. That was super tilted yesterday. But that was part of the issue is that, like, Hunter Brown's going to be a good example of that. Like, he was kind of like King yesterday. So Hunter Brown today seems like a good prop bet. The projection data doesn't like it, and I get that. Average sportsbook line would have this at 28.5. PrizePicks line, obviously at 26.5. The issue with Zach Brown is that he hasn't been going deep into games. That is the issue. Zach Brown, sorry. Hunter Brown. Jeez. Hunter Brown. Apologies there, guys. But looking at it here, Hunter Brown has been consistent. He arguably had, one of his best starts recently against LA. Against Seattle, he wasn't that far off. But when we look at it, guys, I mean, it is a little bit concerning. He is someone that has been struggling, been getting very high in his pitch counts and not getting quality starts. And so obviously getting high in your pitch counts, in 4 innings, 5 innings, that's obviously not good. So I would say the likelihood for him to get a quality start is going to be extremely low. I mean, he's 1-5 on the season, has really struggled, has been pitching a little bit better over his past few starts. And so if we're catching him on a, increase in his production, this is going to be a good one for us today, like the average sportsbook line is telling us it's going to be. But the concern is, obviously, like, this is a high line for Zach Wheeler. This is one that doesn't seem foolproof. If we look at only where the data correlates today, we're really not going to get that many good prop bets as well. That is also a concern. We got Freddie Freeman and Ryan McCann. Is that how you say his name? We have 2 good hitting fantasy score prop bets. So again, that is a little bit of the issue today is that we just aren't getting that many great prop bets today. And then lastly, we'll jump into basketball, NBA today. And so we look at it, Mike Conley for over his fantasy score is a good one. We got Naz Reid for under his fantasy score. Daniel Gafford, you could run over fantasy score. Jaden McDaniels, which I don't want to do, under fantasy score. It seems like every slate, the average sportsbook line has been liking the under for Jaden McDaniels. And I'm like, I don't want to run that one out. Same thing with like Reed, especially with the projection data also saying that as well. I would say the best prop bets I like here are going to be Mike Conley and Daniel Gafford. Now, Daniel Gafford only has a 53% edge. Don't exactly love that. Again, that's part of the issue today. Now, why might he be someone that pops up today? Well, Derek Lively is out, so that should mean that Daniel Gafford does get some more run. The issue is that he's still going up against Rudy Gobert, who is a good defender. I know he's getting a lot of slack, but Obviously, when you get a big like Gobert against guards, that's most likely not going to turn out unless it's around the rim, or turn out well unless it's around the rim. We do expect Gafford and Gobert to be matched up against each other for the most part of the game, or for most parts of the game. And so, given the fact that he should be locked into a little bit more minutes, I don't mind that. At the same time, is it one that we have to lock in though? No. Again, this is the issue that we have today. Derrick Jones Jr. on paper is someone that should benefit as well. In terms of the bigs, he actually gets the most run with Derek Lively off the court throughout the season. Now, maybe that doesn't occur tonight. We'll see. That's an adjustment that Dallas is going to have to make. And I do expect it to be Derrick Jones Jr. to be the one that steps up the most. A lot of people would say PJ Washington. It could be. PJ Washington's been solid. But the one that I think we're getting the biggest edge on is actually Derrick Jones Jr. But the day doesn't exactly love that. So I don't know if you guys would want to force that. The safe one should be Mike Conley, who has just been extremely consistent thus far this postseason. All right, so in conclusion, we're going to be looking at Mike Conley for over his fantasy score of 25, Freddie Freeman for over his hitting fantasy score of 7, Ryan for his over fantasy score of 7, Zach Wheeler for over his pitching fantasy score of 42, Hunter Brown for over his pitching fantasy score of 26.5. Again, not the biggest edge day today. This would probably be a day in which I go a little bit lighter, like I suggested yesterday, but it is Taco Tuesday, so we want to get our exposure. Really, the hope here is going to be going 3 for 5 and hoping that all the tacos hit, or at least 2 of them hit, so we can have a profitable day today. These are the best bets, so fingers are crossed. Maybe there's going to be better bets that pop up throughout the day. We'll see. But this is going to be all for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want access to the tools that you saw in this video, head on over to 9to5sports.com. They are available for just $10 a month. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.